you all, the brave never fall. On your quest to be balanced, the vision of yourself may be the most fundamentally important key to your existence. That's up for each individual to determine. But when you're living life, as we all do, when you're going through life and you're experiencing everything life has to offer, the good, the bad, and the ugly, your vision of yourself is going to be your remaining legacy. Because whatever you envision yourself to be, when you're gone and you've transcended to another place, what you leave behind is going to be your remaining essence. Your story is not over when you take your last breath. You have to think bigger than that. Much bigger. I challenge you to close your eyes and go deep into your mind. Try to shut out all the noise that's around you. It's not a meditative state. It's not a spiritual journey. You're not trying to lose yourself in your mind. You're trying to see beyond your limitations that you've put upon yourself, upon your mind. When you close your eyes, I always found that's where a journey truly begins. Because when your eyes are open, you see things out in the world the way that everyone wants you to see it, to a certain extent. You're looking at things that are familiar. You're conjuring up memories based on objects and people. Feelings start to erupt out of you like a volcano, based on circumstances that were familiar. You're reminded constantly, the longer you live in life, of all the failures, of all the past experiences. When you close your eyes and you're in darkness, the only thing that's left is you. There's nothing to distract you. You're looking at the back of your eyelids. You're looking into darkness. One of the things I love about when I do meditate and my eyes are closed, I love the sense of darkness because it looks the exact same as if you were outside at night looking up at the night sky. And you see all those stars. When was the last time you looked up at the sky at night? Hopefully, you're not in a city where you have basically pollution in the air where you can't see anything. But if you're ever out where it's clear, on a good clear night, and you look up, look at all of that. Look at all that. It looks spectacular. The vision of that almost looks like it's not real. But I've always said to people, what you're looking at is you. You are no different than the beauty of that night sky. You are no different than the sun, the earth. You are tethered to this. You are connected to this. You are all of it. All of those stars up there are not possible if you're not there to look at them. That means you are important. The vision of yourself is just as complex and important as every one of those stars up there that look like they're together. All of those stars. Looks like one big body. But we all know that those stars are nowhere near each other. Essentially, they're alone. They have bodies orbiting them, satellites, planets, stars. Yes, there are galaxies. That's how your life is. You're a star. It may feel like you're alone, but you're not. You're never alone. Whenever you open your eyes, you're reminded of that. Whenever you listen, you're reminded of that. You are not alone. Which is why your vision of yourself becomes just as spectacular as that night sky. Because there are no limits to that night sky. And if you're a part of that, if you're just as important as every one of those stars up there, that means there are no limits to you. And the only person holding you back is you. Mentally, you know what you're capable of doing. Physically, you know what you're capable of doing. Emotionally, you know what you're capable of handling. And spiritually, you know what you're capable of believing in. When you put all those together, that's balance, that's harmony, and that's the removal of chaos. Life can be violent. Just like a supernova exploding, life can be very violent. It can be disruptive, unpredictable, chaotic to the extreme. But it's part of life. It's part of growth. Just like the seasons, you're going to have your cold days, you're going to have your warm days, your light and your dark. The challenge of life is never, ever going to be easy. That's what the appreciation of the good times come in. That's why gratitude is so important. Because when those good things happen, know that they're gifts. They're rewards for you having endured the impossible. You've gone there. The beauty of your life is unique. How you perceive yourself is how other people are going to perceive it. If you believe you're a good person, that you have value, that nothing's going to stop you, that your journey has a purpose, if you believe in that, then you need to manifest it. It's time for you to envision yourself being more than just a somebody. Dare yourself to be more than that. Explore every possibility of who you could be. Break yourself down into the smallest forms possible and examine every single cell in your body. Create the blueprint of yourself that is not overly complicated, but is a blueprint that other people want to replicate. It's a blueprint that's valuable. You are an architect of your own life. Don't build your foundation on things that you know are not good for you. That's where discipline comes in. Self-discipline, self-love, valuing yourself enough to know whenever you wake up and the day is going to start and you have a purpose, start racking up victories. Start doing the things you know is right. Because whenever you get something in return for it, that reward is invaluable. It's the reward of knowledge, experience, knowing you can get through a full day by doing the right things and benefit from it. The explosions around you of people failing, making wrong decisions, lying, cheating, doing all the things that we know conjure up negative emotions, conjure up fear and doubt and anxiety, lead us into paths that we don't want to go down, leave us stranded, sucked into black holes, imprisoning ourselves in our own minds, giving us false hope that we can be better, even though we're doing things that are sending us in the wrong direction. We've lost sight. Your vision has been blurred when you're like that. You have to believe that you are not that person. And if all of those mistakes you've made, they were made for a reason. Because if you take them for what they are and you learn from them, you take those experiences and you genuinely learn from them. The person you become when you take them to heart and you promise yourself you're never going to do it again, that you're going to learn from it, and you're going to become a better person because you're never going to do that again. All the negative things you did, all the bad choices, all the people that affected you to the point where you had breakdowns, that's all in the past. A good quality person knows when to forgive themselves. Because that self-love comes out from forgiving yourself. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to lose at something. It's okay to lose people. You can't control everything in your life. And we lose sight of that. The things we can control, we ignore. We take for granted. We manipulate. You haven't endured anything yet. Because life is still happening. You are still on the road. I say sometimes it's time for you to stop, look at the markers of hope that you planted for yourself, the flags of hope that you put down. You have to understand and realize and accept and take advantage of the fact that change is possible for yourself. That just like when you look up at the stars, there are no limitations for your potential. Just as we have not explored all the stars, that it is impossible to do so. No one can completely explore every single aspect of you. You're going to be hard-pressed to explore every single aspect of yourself in your own life because life is constantly happening. You are not the same person you were yesterday, whether you like it or not. For better or for worse, the person you are right now in this moment is what counts, is what matters. The people who judge you on what you did in the past, that's their right, that's their choice. But the person you are in front of them in this moment can't be denied. You either are or you aren't the person you want to be. The vision of yourself, when you close your eyes and you look into the darkness, and all you're left with is the beating of your own heart, your emotions, and what's in your mind, are you pleased with what you're getting? Are you content with the person you are now and take this person you are now and live out several more decades of your current self? Do you believe you can do it? Would you be comfortable in your own skin for the next 20 to 30, 40 years, depending on how old you are? Or do you feel like you have a lot more room in the tank to fill up on and keep getting after it? That you're not just a star in the solar system. You're a galaxy. You have so much more to explore about yourself. There's so much more beauty for you to form within yourself. So many more people to learn from. So many more experiences to fail at to get knowledge to be better. What is the point of being comfortable sitting on your ship looking down at a planet? Go down there and explore it. Because if you don't, other people will. There are people out there who refuse to be mediocre. There are people out there who refuse to live every day making excuses. There are people out there who understand the benefit of discipline, the act of forgiveness for themselves and for others. And it's not just words. It's not just an easy path that's straightforward, straight to where you want to be. They've accepted the challenge because the rewards from them are so enticing that they can't rip themselves away from their own path. They won't allow themselves to turn around and walk back into a black hole that they were already sucked in, and they somehow managed to get out of it. But instead of taking the opportunity to say, I know what it's like to be sucked into that black hole, into that darkness, I'm not going back, they forget the steps that they took to get out, and they just turn around and go walking right back into it. That's a poor vision of yourself. That's a lack of confidence, a lack of belief, a lack of faith, a lack of boldness. You don't know who you are at that point. And if you don't know who you are, you damn well better believe that no one else knows who you are at that point. Your value is so low at that point, no one even wants to communicate with you. You have no value. And you can't blame anyone but yourself. Just because you see other people failing doesn't give you the excuse or the right to say, I'm good. Could be worse. I could be these people. It's fine to say that. But you don't get to use that as an excuse when you see other people doing things that you wish you could do. You see them enjoying things in their life that you wish you could enjoy. You see them involved in other people's lives that you wish you could be involved in. And you certainly can't blame them for having a positive, high-value, self-loving experience for themselves, getting through life and enjoying all of the rewards through their hard times. They're winning at life because they're challenging themselves. Because they know when they wake up, every day is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And every day is a challenge. But when the good people come into their life, they're not going to sabotage those relationships. When they get a good opportunity, they're going to make the right decisions for themselves and for their loved ones. Because nothing is more important than gaining new knowledge, adding value to your life. But if you're standing still, watching all this unravel around you, if you refuse to go down to the planet and explore, and you're just sitting up in the ship, letting your muscles rot, looking out into outer space saying, where's the black hole? Because I'm ready to get sucked back into it. That's your vision, and that's your vision alone. Do not expect anyone to get sucked into a black hole to save you. Have the courage, have the conviction, the pride and fortitude to accept the challenge of life. To say, this version of me is going to be so great that whenever anyone talks to me, whenever anyone asks me for advice, they can trust me 100% because I've been through it. I didn't give up. I didn't make excuses. I admitted when I was wrong. I forgave myself for whatever the wrongs I did, for all the sins that I had, for my lack of knowledge, for being overly emotional, for not having any spiritual guidance, for being physically weak. You forgive yourself for that and give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance at hope. Give yourself a chance to have faith in yourself. And you can't do that if you're wallowing in misery. You can't do that if when you close your eyes and you're in your own mind and you're feeling your emotions, you're so unbalanced that you're afraid to close your eyes. You're afraid to sleep. Life is so unbalanced for you that you don't know where to go. You don't know who to turn to. You've let things get so out of control that you feel like, hey, that black hole looks enticing. I'm gone. That's not courage. That's weakness. That's being a coward. That's making excuses. That's you pointing fingers at everyone else for your problems. Hope is great, but it comes with a price. And that's hard work, dedication, and putting in priorities that oversee a lot of things like having too much fun. Hanging around the fun people who always seem to have a great lifestyle and they're spending all this money. You don't really know them. They're not adding any value to your life other than fun. It's great to sit down on your couch and not do anything when you could be out exercising, doing some extra work around the house, spending more time with your family, learning something, increasing your knowledge. This is how you add value to your life. The road won't be short. It won't be easy. Your vision is yours alone. What will you create for yourself? How hard are you willing to fight for the best version of yourself? When are you going to realize that all the excuses that you made, all the sins and all the failures and all the disappointments are in the past and you can start over right now? You're in the moment. You can't go back in time and change anything. And you certainly can't go into the future and start reaping the rewards that you haven't earned yet. You have to endure this. You have to get through it. And the vision of yourself will help you with that. Envision yourself being the ultimate version of yourself, the best version you can possibly be. That version of you is going to be you. That is you. You owe it to yourself to start it right now. You are just as beautiful and unique and special as anything in this universe. Those stars are you. When you look up at that sky, you're connected. You matter. You are valuable. You have to trust that. You have to trust and envision yourself being successful, being wealthy, having the perfect family, creating opportunities for yourself, creating the best version of yourself, and leaving behind a legacy after you take your last breath of someone of high value, a person who will be remembered. That's you. If no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall.